Beginning 150 years ago with 6 young children who needed a home, to today serving thousands of vulnerable children and families, Lutheran Child and Family Services of Illinois has been committed to helping all of God's children reach their full potential. Here is a look back at some of the lives you've touched.
God put it into our heart to welcome a foster child into the home.
So what we were told about Braden was that he was in an abuse situation, and his, who they thought was his father's girlfriend, was living with them and had been abusing him and his half brother. And it ended with Braden sustaining a traumatic brain injury. He spent 3 weeks in the hospital, and thank the Lord, recovered and had a year of extensive therapy after that, where they did occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, speech therapy. He really kind of had to relearn a lot of things we were told. And during that time, he just made an amazing recovery, and thank the Lord, he's just perfect now. The funny thing is when we were on our way to meet Braden, Kevin says, well, I'm just going to throw the car seat in the car just in case. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. We're going to have to meet a few times so he can get used to us. And he said, well, I'm just going to put it in the car. And I said, okay, whatever. And the caseworker says, okay, well, we need to plan on what to do from here. And Kevin says, well, we're ready to take him home today. And she's like, oh, well, that's never happened. Like, I got to make some calls. And he's like, well, you better call whoever you need to call because we're ready. And so she's like, oh, okay. So they made a bunch of calls, and they said, okay, we've gotten clearance. So, but I tell you, the services that Braden got prior with all of his counseling that they were already involved with did an amazing job preparing him for what was going to happen, because he literally came right into our car and said bye and waved goodbye, and off he went with us and literally got into our house, and it was like he had lived there forever. I think LCFS was a shelter from the storm because they really walked us through every step of the process, good, bad, or indifferent. Whenever we had a snag or a question or a concern, there was always somebody there to answer our question, to walk us through, to help us, and just make sure that we were successful in being the best parents that we could be. Thank you for Braden.
Growing up, I was exposed to the street life. I would go to school, come home, I'd find drugs on the floor. Coming from school, I found guns on the floor, and it was like, okay. And at the age of 13, 14, I started drinking, smoking marijuana. I wouldn't come home till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. After that, I started doing cocaine, my drug of choice. I lost people, I lost myself. And 2 months after having my son, I get pregnant again. And I kept using. I knew it was wrong, but I continued to do it. Getting to the hospital, they did all types of tests, but they came back and they're like, so you tested positive for cocaine. I could have lost my children because of that lifestyle. So after having my daughter, Lutheran Child and Family Services come to my home. We're here to work with you. We're not here to take your children away. My LCFS worker, she was awesome. I love her. She helped me with courage, hope, something I never had. Lutheran Child Family Services helped me with parenting classes. They helped me with a rehab center to go to. They showed me that there's more beyond the drug using and self-medicating myself. They're there to help. For me, love keeps growing means self-love. I love myself more than I loved myself a year ago. I see the growth in me from last year to this year, all my accomplishments. My hope for my kids, I don't want them to struggle. I don't want them to feel the pain I felt. I want them to be somebody. I want them to be whatever it is that they want to be.
Well, my childhood was very emotional. It's like an emotional roller coaster. I felt like my mom didn't know how to love herself because she would be with multiple men, them come in and out. I didn't have any privacy. I had to learn everything on my own. She didn't show me the love that a child should have, like a hug. I never got a hug from my mom. I love my mama with all my heart, no matter how wrong she was. At the age of 11, I was burned with sulfuric acid. This is something that changed my life forever. I was burned 75% of my body. The ambulance came and got me, put me on a stretcher. We sued the building and we won the case. My mom would spend the money that was supposed to be on me on herself. My mom wasn't home for weeks, leaving the house with no food, nothing. LCFS helped me by taking me out of a bad place that I should have been gone a long time ago. That's when my aunt actually stepped into my life. LCFS helped my aunt become my permanent guardian. I love her with all my heart, and I am so grateful that she has took me in permanently. LCFS helped me get into therapy. The therapy helped me with coping skills, breathing. I love the meditating. LCFS gave me the ability to build my future by giving me my life back. Room in your heart, to me, means throughout all the bad things that you've been through and the heartache, you feel like there's no hope, but there's some room, because a heart is big. The heart itself is big. There's always room.